Hey guys, Jay here. I want to make a quick update video on the Autospark character, and I'm going to run a tier 15 with Delirium and Reach, right? So before I get into the map, I want to talk about what I've changed on the character, and it is basically through Alpha's How. This is the main change. I also swapped out the belt, so I don't have the recoup stuff anymore. I don't think it is that good when I actually test with it. On paper, it sounds very good, but actually when it works, it doesn't work as well, because when you get the mana on kill and you get back to full mana, the recoup just stopped and you lose all the amount of recoup that stack up. So it is not feeling very good. So I get Alpha's How into the build, which allowed me to have the ability to get more cast on shock setup into the build. So cast on shock, I'm linking it to lightning conduit and call effect, elemental focus for like basically single target damage. And there is another cast on shock which I am only having it on the second weapon set. This is for like heavy single target, like bosses, real bosses, citadel bosses. I really need some additional damage, and I don't need the use of Arctic armor for triggering a zero button playstyle anymore. So when I weapon swap, I have two cast on shock and archmage, and without Arctic armor, because for bosses it's not necessary, right? But 99% of the time I play with the Autospark. Mechanically, for anyone who didn't see my previous video, mechanically this staff triggers spark on killing shocked enemy, and I wear killjoys, so it triggered 2 spark on killing 1 shocked enemy. And the way I used to kill the first and the second and the third shocked enemies is through Arctic armor. This deals damage to melee attacker, and it triggered mana flare on crit. I link it to ambush and inevitable critical. So this is the base damage. These are spells, so it's skill with archmage, so it has a decent amount of damage and a pretty good amount of lightning damage overall. So it can shock and it can trigger. So I will show you the playstyle of the character. It's very satisfying. It is really satisfying actually. So let me just clear out my inventory here. And yeah, I will get into the actual map. So let me just dump these into the stash. Alright, and let's get into the map. It's a tier 15 with only 2 things on it, so it could be harder. But hey, this is chill build, right? And in order to show you that I am not pressing any button to avoid any like confusion, why do you have a spark button there and you claim that you are not casting spark? Well, now I have none, right? I don't have a button, alright? Okay, nice. Already sustaining maps, right? So I can just move. I can just walk around, pretty much. So this is extremely satisfying, as you can see on the screen here. This feels a little bit better than the corpse weight. The corpse weight, the visual effect is just a lot of poison cloud. Personally, I also have a corpse weight character. I just click off the shrine there. I don't really like the effect on the shrine. It frees the enemy, so as you can see, right, zero button playstyle, very nice on a tier 15. Why do I have the spark button here? Now I will put it back on. Why do I have it? Because in some situation, for example, single target, I need this because for single target, if you don't have any monster nearby, obviously you cannot trigger the spark on kill. For mapping, normally I would just be very chill and walk around like this. And for dangerous map, I also have option to use this spark actively. So instead of waiting for the monster to hit me and got killed, I can just kill them from range, and it also will trigger sparks. It also will trigger the spark from the staff. So yeah, it's not like you need to spam the spark a lot. You just need to do like once, twice, maybe 3 times if the map is very tanky. Then yeah. Other than that, everything would just die automatically, as you can see here. Wherever I move to, the enemies just die and spawn more spark, more and more and more, and they would just kill whatever is on the screen. So it feels extremely satisfying, especially when you're clearing breaches. This is so much. I would say the clear is so much better compared to like a normal spark build. Especially if you count the same budget. Hell, I would say if you have like 4 times this budget, you probably don't have this level of clear on a normal spark build. And you need to spam your button all the time. Right? So yeah, this is the build. Let me actually finish this map. Actually, you know what? I want to pick up some of the things. I will go back and pick them up. Alright? Let me just finish the map for the sake of videos. So I can save you guys some time. You don't need to watch me go pick up everything. As you can see, hey, relatively chill. This shrine, if we take it, we have explosion. I will not be using it. It's going to feel very good as well, but just for showcase, right? I will not be using any borrowed power from other sources. I will just pick this up because it is on the way, alright? By the way, if you really want to embrace the clear speed, right? You can have the option of basically what you are sacrificing for additional speed for clearing. You can get blink, but you would need to remove 1 gems, so you will have basically 1% less maximum resistance. This is a Gemling Legionaire. I am using the extra gem slot, just random like fail corrupted 6-link. I bought for very cheap, like 30 exalt each, and then I put a bunch of socket gem support gem on it to get some maximum resistances. You will need to remove 1 of them and put blink into it. So what you do is you remove the cast on shock to be applied on the weapon set 1, or whatever the weapon set you use the earthbound staff on. So you don't need the extra single target on earthbound. Setup is just for clearing, right? So you can get blink, and you can blink around, you can move faster. I'm okay with this pace, so I don't want to set that up. I will need to sacrifice a little bit of defense for some speed. Normally people will do it. I know a lot of you guys will do it, but you know, for me, I really like being tanky, and you know, slower pace is okay for me. I don't need to go like blasting. If I make a build, if I make this build to go really fast, I will try to be fast, but to make this build literally to feels good, to feels very chill, to feels very safe, to feels like the the very, very satisfying playstyle. I really like this one. So yeah, this is the build. Let me know what you think. Yeah, is there anything that I want to mention? No, actually. So I will update this build on the Mobiletic link, and yeah, you guys can check it out if you want a written form of the guide, and it's easier to follow basically. On the skill tree, I did make a couple of changes. Now I go full on penetration. So the lightning penetration here, I go full penetration. And I have penetration here, so I have more than 75. I think I have 78% total. The math can be a little bit off, but you know, roughly more than 75% penetration, which is the number that is good enough to basically deal with anything in the game. You cannot go below 0%, so there's no real reason to get more. And from the skill tree, we can get this point, and these 2 points for enough penetration for lightning. So yeah, it's quite efficient, and it's just remove the use of curses, so we don't need to spend mana on using that curse, which is a lot of mana. So overall, I think this is just a way more balanced setup, especially even for single target. I'm still CI, I'm still mana over matter, and I'm still average battery. Yeah. For the next level, I'm level 88 right now. Level 88 character. For the next level, I will take this 1 point. What does this do? Well, this will allow the cast on shock, allow the lightning conduit. It removes the shock to deal damage. But with this, and then the quality of the gem itself, it's already have a 20% chance to do the same thing. So when it consumes a shock, it has a chance to basically reapply it or doesn't consume it. So you have the shock on the boss still. So I think it's pretty good. I think it's just overall a little bit more single target in a sense, because you keep the shock on the character for more duration just on average. So yeah, that is everything I want to share, and thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy. If you go even further on level, you should get this for mana regen. You should get this for mana regen and get this one back for a little bit of recoup. I think a little bit still helps in some situation, but it's not that important. That is why I spec out of this one, and then I will re-get it later. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Again, I hope you enjoy, and if you do, please consider to leave a like and subscribe. Please stay tuned for more POE2 content.